And welcome to the Earshift Festival 2020. This year, we're really excited to be hosting a series of online and live events. We've just been looking at to experience 3 live shows at Old 505 Theatre in Newtown in Sydney, Australia. And now for every Sunday in October, we're going to be enjoying some online events featuring artists all across the world. It's going to be showing right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Today we're going to be watching and listening to the Rajiv Jayaweera Quartet perform some select tracks from his latest release, Pistols. So enjoy, and please stick around for the artist chat. Raj is going to be joining from Spain. Okay, hope you enjoy the music.
Hey, Jeremy. That was a tune called Malkaha Bird. Once again, you're listening to John Olin, Malkaha, Rick Rosato. My name is Rajiv Jayaweera. This is the official release of my album. Yes, so what else can I say? Not much. Yeah, so the next song we're going to play is called Hirumbara. This is my grandfather's hometown in Sri Lanka. Thank you. That was Hiramura. We've come to the last song of our set. I'd like to once again thank John Organ, Mark Turner, Rick Rosato for playing so beautifully, and to Jimmy and Tracy here at the Soapbox. And if you'd like to contribute, feel free to do so on the website. I think there's a link just above the window of the video. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can head over to the website if you like. So yeah, once again, this is Pistols, my debut album. I think you can find it on Bandcamp, just putting Pistols and my name. And our last song is called Nihilus. again. See you next time.
Raj, hey, hey, man, how you doing?
Jeremy, good,
Yeah,
thanks. How you
yeah,
going?
great. You could join us.
Thanks for having me.
Just one sec. Uh, cancel that. Yeah, man. So, that was a beautiful set. Tell us a little bit about that recording. Who was featured on there? I mean, obviously, I know one person in particular, but you know,
Sure, yeah. So yeah, that was my official album release show that I played recently, and obviously, well, yeah, it was Mark Turner on the saxophone, John Olgen on piano. He's a German Turkish piano player living in New York, and Rick Rosato. He's a Canadian bass player, also based in New York. So yeah, I was lucky to have those guys to play my music.
yeah, great. And do you want to quickly back announce the compositions that were performed on there, just in case someone was?
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
So the first tune was called El Stand Dissa. That's, I think, the second tune on my album. And then it was Malka Hubbard, Hirimbura, and the last tune was Nihilus. So yeah, all four of those tunes are on my new album. So
yeah.
yeah.
And congratulations on the album. You know, it's just a beautifully presented. The playing and the tunes are really well crafted, and I mean it just looks stunning as well. So
Thanks.
congrats.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy with how it came out. Put a lot of work into it, but yeah, it turned
Yeah.
out nicely, I think.
And tell us where are you streaming from right now?
I'm actually streaming from Malaga in Spain. So we're down in the south of Spain, which is really nice here. So
Yeah.
yeah, after spending quite a few months in New York through everything, it's finally nice to have some freedom and be able to go outside and
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So happy to be here.
Yeah. And you've been based in New York for what is it, 10 years or so now?
Pretty much 10 years, yeah. So I can't believe it, but yeah, 10 years flew by.
Yeah,
So
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, is it nice just to get out of the city? I know that in summer that the heat is intense, but with what's going on with the pandemic and coronavirus and everything, it must be nice just to kind of escape the crowds at least.
Yeah, I mean, not that I really felt that, well, didn't feel the crowds in the last 5, 6 months, but yeah, obviously, it is nice. I mean, we have a good situation at home. I can practice in my apartment in New York, and yeah, it's comfortable there. And things were slowly starting to, or are slowly starting to happen again. I actually did a couple of gigs before I left, and some recordings, and yeah, so I think it'll come back slowly, but it is nice to be in Europe. And I mean, I haven't started doing any playing here yet, but I see that there are things happening. So
Yeah. Do you feel that you might stay
for a
in
little
Spain
while,
for longer than
yeah, I
expected,
think so. I think
originally expected?
yeah, at least for now, it seems like a good place to be. And yeah, just going to try and connect with some musicians, and maybe try and go to some other cities like Berlin, Paris, Copenhagen, where I know some musicians. And yeah, hopefully the travel is all right.
Right.
It seems to be doable at the moment, but yeah, we'll see.
It seems like a lot of my friends are kind of based in New York or LA have kind of
Yeah,
scattered a little bit from the
so many.
metropolitan areas. I guess there's not a lot of support for musicians in North America, so that they're just
Yeah, so many
everyone's
people
kind of
left.
finding it tough at the moment, right?
It's crazy. They either went to other cities in the US, or overseas. Yeah, a lot of people have come over to Europe actually, which is kind of exciting because I think there's going to be lots of players here. So yeah, I mean, yeah, see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Let's go back to the album. So, do you want to talk us a little bit through the
Sure.
album more?
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps just talk with the kind of
Sure.
inspiration behind the
Yeah.
album.
Well, okay. Yeah. I guess. Well, yeah. There is a strong focus on like Sri Lanka, my country of ancestry, and I drew inspiration from there for like most of the songs, and tried to just I don't know. That's what I was channeling or trying to think of when I was writing the music, and so that was kind of the main inspiration. The personnel on the album is different to the band that we just heard, but it's Hugh Stuckey is on guitar, Sam Manning, so I was happy to have two fellow Aussies, and then Chris Cheek and Aaron Parks, and my wife Lara Bello is singing on the first track as well. So we recorded that actually in April of 2019 at a studio upstate New York called Clubhouse. It was really nice to like. Sam recommended this studio to me. I hadn't heard of it or been there. I think he'd recorded there with a couple of times or one other time, and it's nice because you go up there and you stay the night, and it's just relaxed. Like you set up the night before, and then you have the whole day and you're in the nature, and I'm glad I did it that way rather than just being in the city. So you can't go anywhere. And it was really nice. We just did one day, and it was a relaxed day, and got through all the tunes, and so I was happy to do that. And I was also lucky I got to mix with James Farber and mastered with Mark Wilder, two of the guys who have done that a lot. So
the Cats, right? And was it kind of a bit of a session band, or do you? Have you collaborated with Chris and Aaron in particular before?
So Chris, I've been talking. I'd played with Chris a few times before. I think Sam and I had played with him just a few sessions, and I've been talking to him like for the last few years. I always had it in mind to record with Chris. I kind of heard him as the person playing the melodies of the songs, and he's super nice, and that was great. So I had played with him a few times before, but just not like had a long history or extensive playing history. But Aaron I had played with a couple of times. I think we met in Europe once, and just some informal settings we played, and but it just worked out well timing wise for him. When I contacted him, he was in the area, and everything lined up nicely. And Sam and Hugh, obviously, they've played my music a lot. Hugh, especially in New York over the last few years, was always playing the songs with me. Actually, I did a gig earlier this year, like probably actually the last real gig I did, or big kind of gig I did in Bangkok with Sam and Chris Cheek and Carl Morgan play guitar. So that was really fun actually. In January we were in Thailand. So,
lucky you guys got it in before the pandemic hit, right?
So and as for now, nothing really. So I don't know how is it there in Australia? In Sydney.
I think the momentum kind of, everything stopped still for a little while, but metaphorically, I feel like the clouds are kind of starting to part, and there's a lot of opportunities popping up for commissions and festival things on the sort of early next year. As far as touring even beyond our own states, there's just no you can't do anything with any sort of certainty. But I feel like the border restrictions has kind of forced the local presenters to look to local groups to kind of feature, which is kind of a big opportunity for us that are situated here. I've never been busier with some original projects, which is really great. But I'm sure there's going to be a flood of new recordings next year. Because everyone's been writing a lot and when they're able to get together, record again. It's all going to be happening.
Stuff happens. Well, hopefully we can also.
Yeah, but I was gonna talk a little bit more about just the overarching concept of drawing from various cultures in jazz. Jazz is this music that's kind of like a sponge. It always has been. The tradition of absorbing, taking various elements from different cultures. How do you, now that you look back on the album, how do you feel that you're, were you able to achieve kind of the vision that you had for the album? Because I mean, personally, I know it's always very hard to do it without sounding kind of, I don't know, forced or contrived, or doing it without any sort of authenticity. I mean, you have Sri Lankan background, so that's one level.
I mean, it's.
But I don't know. I mean, how do you reflect on it?
I didn't grow up there, and I grew up in Australia and have spent time in New York. I was born in London, so I mean, I visited there, Sri Lanka a lot all through my life. But it's not like it's new to me. The things that I'm learning from, like musically, the things that I'm learning are very new. But I've been there over the last couple of years and have tried to, and have done some study with percussionists there, and I want to do more of that. But I didn't want to just like put that on top of it, and I hope I didn't. But I wanted to be subtle about that, and it's weird because like sometimes like I actually saw a review the other day and they said this isn't ethnic jazz, or this not this is just it was questioning what it was, but like in a way I like that because I don't want it to be so obvious either. It's like it's just it's what inspired me. It doesn't mean that it has to sound like anything completely different. So, but I mean, yeah.
I mean, I was just going to say you've been involved in collaborations and projects that do this as their main kind of thing. The Art Orchestra's Crossing Roper Bar project and Philip Knight's Way Out West, right? So do you feel like there's this is a new frontier for you, or it's just kind of a little taste?
I do want to explore it further, and like I would love to. Another idea I have is to actually spend a lot more time in Sri Lanka when that's possible, and delve deeper. But I don't know what's going to come out of that. How it's maybe I end up collaborating with some musicians there or something. But I think I don't have a plan. It's just see what happens. And I'm happy that I have that to draw on and access that's relevant to me. So but I don't want it to be some like just fusion thing that's I don't know. It has to come from a honest place and just I don't know. That's So I don't know. It's, maybe I'll just end up being able to spend extended period of time there and just live and see who I can meet and what I can learn. So,
right. You use the drum. Excuse my pronunciation. The tamatma.
Tamatma.
Matama.
So that drum is it's also known as the temple drum, and so I was in Sri Lanka twice with Ray Pereira. He's a Melbourne percussionist, and there's another percussionist, also Sri Lankan percussionist, Kanchana. And I was in Sri Lanka with them, and we were able to. They introduced me to a traditional master there. And we spent, I think, one time 2 weeks, and it was great. He was showing me things on that drum, and I like that drum because I've never really played any hand percussion, so it's nice that it's with sticks, and the sticks are these funny looking sticks. So I was able to sort of play that more easily than learning a whole new hand technique. So that's the drum that I choose to try to learn more and study.
Yeah. Is there any have there been any kind of I don't know, gestural things that you've kind of adapted into your own approach to playing jazz?
Not. Yeah, it's early days.
Or it's early days.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. There's a few other kind of I guess thematic inspirations on the album, aren't there? The elephant and the flower.
Yeah. So.
And then this beautiful imagery.
Yeah. So it's So the elephant actually that. So okay, if I go back to the song that we heard, the first song that I actually play that rhythm on a rhythm on that drum, that's actually based off a dance called The Elephant. So it's not that song, but then when I finally recorded the song The Elephant, and played the thumb tomorrow night, it had this feeling, and I just thought of an elephant. So basically, yeah, that's how that came together. But, yeah.
And what about the flower?
The flower.
Metaphor.
Yeah. So good question. Yeah. So I mean, pistils are I think they are the reproductive organs of a flower. So I mean, I really like just that image of it being the essence of a flower, and I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just liked. It just felt nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing deeper than that. Just
Yeah, it's kind of a nice thing to reflect on, given the current current circumstance of the world.
Yeah.
How have you found the reception of the album, given that it's just sort of, I guess there was some momentum, and then this whole disruption with COVID. How has that affected you in your career?
Okay, so yeah. I mean, I delayed the release by a month just because the timing was really right when everything was happening, and then I was talking to people about whether should I delay it more or just put it out. But I was also eager to put it out because it's been I wanted it out there, but. And actually, I've it's my first album as a leader, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I have to say I'm pretty happy with just the overall response has been pretty positive, and I don't know, I think it went all right. People seem to like it in general, but I mean, I learned a lot from the process as you do, and I'm already thinking, okay, well, what can I do next? What will I do next time? And I think, so, yeah.
And so what are your next plans? I mean,
my next
kind
plans,
of a crazy question.
It is, yeah. I mean, I actually everyone's different. During this pandemic, some people practiced a lot, other people wrote a lot, and I think when it first started, I was practicing a lot, and I didn't write at all. Didn't write any music, and then I got to Spain, and then I just started writing a couple of things, and it just happened just naturally. So I don't know, maybe I'm more inspired here or something, but. So I'm just gonna see how the tunes come out, and
sometimes you just need a bit of headspace, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no real plans for another album or anything just yet. But I think it will happen. It's just I'll let it happen naturally. I'm not gonna force it. So.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then lastly, congrats on the other Earshift release, the trio.
Yeah.
Which is stunning. Sometimes I hear it come on the radio here in Australia, and it's like, wow, who's that? I have to go check it out, and then I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah. That was
so that's great.
That was that's a nice collaboration with Sam Manning and Carl Morgan, and it was just that was a random, not random. Sam and I, we were in Europe. I can't remember now, 2 years ago maybe, on tour, and we had a week off, and we went to Berlin where Carl had just moved, and just started playing and recorded this album in his rehearsal space, basically ourselves, and and we did a tour at the start of this year, actually, Australia tour, somehow put that together,
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I think we were supposed to play in Australia again in November, but obviously that's not happening. Actually, Carl, he said,
Wangaratta. Huh?
I think it was
Oh.
Perth Jazz Festival.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
I can't remember whether we were doing Wangaratta, but we were supposed to go to Perth, and
Yeah.
but yeah. Carl asked us the other day, "What's happening?" I said, "I don't think we're going to Australia. You can't actually go to Australia right now. Like,
Yeah.
really, it's impossible to get in." So
yeah, I mean, even if you have a flight booked, you could get bumped for a business class ticket, right? It's just,
exactly, there's that, and then you have to quarantine. So
you know, we try and have Zoom catch ups with the guys in the Vampires, and they're, you know, Nick's in Italy and Alex is in upstate New York, and we keep talking about it at 2-a-day.
Yeah,
but it's like,
yeah.
What's the point at the moment? You know, it's economically it's not viable to pay the quarantine fees as well, which is really
that's crazy. Yeah, hopefully that gets lifted at some soon. But yeah. So yeah, that's
cool.
Yeah.
Great, man. Well, it's been lovely to chat.
Yeah.
You
thanks.
you want to add anything else about the album or about, you know, anything?
I mean, yeah. If you haven't checked it out, head over to Bandcamp. I guess is the place where everyone sends people these days. But yeah, Bandcamp.
That's right.
Pistols. But yeah, thanks for putting this together, Jeremy. And
pleasure. Also through, of course, the Earshift, earshift.com, through the website, and you can follow the links to Raj's album there. So.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and
yeah,
take
it easy.
See you all soon.
Okay.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.